In today's episode, I'm going to show you 12 time management hacks to boost your productivity. Perspective plans with new videos and podcasts weekly. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/perspective plans for exclusive videos and more. Visit perspectiveplans.com for all of your planner and stationery needs. Only at Perspective Plans, helping you plan for what's to come. The ultimate testimony to time management, a tortoise. Yes, you heard that right, a literal tortoise. And not just any tortoise, the OG productivity legend from that classic bedtime smackdown, Tortoise versus the Hare. Quick story time recap. Rabbit's all speed, no discipline, he's scrolling TikTok or napping mid-race, classic. But the tortoise, he's slow, unbothered, focused, basically the chillest project manager ever. And guess what? He crosses the finish line while Mr. Bunny is still responding to just a quick Slack message. So what's the big takeaway here? In a world where everyone has a degree, a certification, and a Canva resume with soft pastel gradients, there's one underrated skill that still separates the high performers from the overwhelmed masses, and that is time management. Master it, and you'll not only finish tasks on time, you'll finish them with snacks still warm, inbox zero achieved, and a confident strut into your next Zoom call. Why time management actually matters. No, it's not just for type A planners. Sure, it helps you hit deadlines, but the real magic, it helps you reclaim your time like Beyonce dropped a productivity planner. Let's walk through a real-world example. Meet Jenna. Jenna is all of us, ambitious, overbooked, and low-key dreaming of escaping to London with the job title Glow Up. She's gunning for a promotion to project manager. She needs to take a weekend certification course, but between work, family, and the occasional existential spiral, her schedule is packed tighter than a carry-on suitcase on an overbooked flight. Without time management, Jenna cries into her calendar. She's triple booked by accident, of course. She finishes work at 9 p.m. and forgets what sunlight even looks like. With time management hacks, Productivity Glow Up, she tackles one project at a time. No more half-baked deliverables while binge-watching Succession. Stress be gone. Big projects become tiny, manageable steps. She's no longer overwhelmed, but just mildly caffeinated. Work-life wizardry. She blocks time to work, study, and hang with family. Is this balance? Goals met, structured schedule equals steady progress, equal promotion in sight. London, get ready for her. Confidence unlocked. Nothing feels better than crossing stuff off your list. Jenna starts radiating, I've got this energy. By procrastination. No more I'll just do it after one more YouTube video. She's got a plan and she's sticking to it. Career boost incoming. Jenna nails the course, impresses her manager, and positions herself as the organized queen who always gets it done. So what's the lesson here? Be the tortoise, not because it's trendy, but because in a world full of hasty hares, hitting snooze and scrambling last minute, the calm, consistent, strategic turtle always wins the race. And unlike the rabbit, he actually enjoys the journey. Tip 1. Batch tasks with ease, like pancakes, but less syrup. Task batching is the adulting equivalent of meal prepping, except instead of chopping onions, you're chopping your to-do list into neatly grouped categories. Instead of jumping from a Zoom call to invoicing to writing a report and somehow ending up doom scrolling in between, you batch similar tasks together. Emails, boom. Answer them all in one go. Calls, knock them out, like your speed dating productivity. Why it works? Because your brain hates multitasking. And frankly, your brain isn't that good at it anyway. Batching reduces context switching, aka that exhausting feeling of flipping between tabs, thoughts, and even mild existential crises. Example, a salesperson might do all of their cold outreach in the morning when they're fresh and full of fake optimism and enthusiasm. Then tackle the follow-ups in the afternoon, powered by caffeine and sheer willpower. It's like getting into a groove and staying there, except no saxophone solos, unless that's your vibe. Tip 2, get things done. GTD, or at least feel like you are. David Allen's Getting Things Done method is like a spa day for your brain. Except instead of cucumbers on your eyes, you're slapping to-dos into neat little buckets of action. The GTD method says, hey, stop juggling everything in your head like a stressed out circus clown. Instead, capture those tasks, write them down, type them out, record them via interpretive dance if you must. Just get them out of your brain. Why it works? Because your brain is for thinking, not remembering that you still haven't sent that one email from 3 days ago. GTD helps you declutter your mental workspace, break huge projects into manageable chunks, and actually do the stuff instead of panicking about it on a loop. Example, picture a frazzled project manager named Lisa. Before GTD, she's spinning in circles, muttering about deadlines. After GTD, She's calmly breaking down a massive deliverable into bite-sized tasks like email design team, or reminds Steve not to touch the budget spreadsheet again. Turns. Basically, GTD turns your chaos into a checklist, and we love a good checklist. It helps your productivity. Tip 3, time blocking. Structure your day like a pro. Tired of feeling pulled in every direction? Time blocking helps you take back control by assigning specific chunks of your day to specific tasks, reducing distractions, overwhelm, and even decision fatigue. Here's why it works. Instead of reacting to your day, you run it. Imagine this, 9 to 11 a.m., you have deep work and reports, 11 to 12 p.m., meetings and check-ins, 1 to 3 p.m., creative work for strategy, and 3 to 4 p.m., admin, email, or even wrap-up tasks. It's structured with flexibility so your brain doesn't have to guess what's next. Tip 4, automate with AI. Let the robots do the boring stuff. Imagine having a super helpful assistant who never sleeps, doesn't eat coffee, and actually enjoys repetitive tasks. Well, that's AI. Minus the dramatic office gossip and weird fridge lunches. AI tools are basically your backstage crew, handling your progress updates, scheduling emails, summarizing those never-ending meetings, and even tossing your content ideas like a digital muse on espresso. So here's why it works. Because your brain power should be reserved for genius level strategy, not remembering to send per my last email for the 3rd time this week. Let AI tackle the grunt work so you can focus on the fun, fulfilling, and slightly chaotic big picture stuff. Example, picture a team lead named Jordan. Jordan uses AI to write the meeting agenda while they kick back and panic productively over strategic planning and budget goals. Meanwhile, the AI is typing like it's got something to prove. Automate smart, my friend. The robots aren't here to steal your job just yet. They're here to make it less soul-sucking. Tip 5, minimize context switching. Protect your focus. Jumping from emails to meetings to spreadsheets might feel productive, but it actually drains your focus and slows you down. Here's why it works. When you group similar tasks together, like responding to emails or even scheduling calls, you stay in the same mental gear. That momentum helps you move faster and think more clearly. Here's an example. Instead of scattering client communication throughout your day, a marketing manager could block off 2 to 3 p.m. just for emails and calls. The result? Fewer mental resets, more flow, and a lot less fatigue. Here's a pro tip. Identify your most frequent task switches and try batching them instead of focus blocks. Tip 6, create a distraction-free workspace, aka your productivity fortress. Let's be real, trying to focus with constant pings, dings, and the temptation of that one suspiciously long group chat is like trying to do yoga in the middle of a food fight. Chaos. It's time to turn your workspace into a sanctuary of silence. And for the love of productivity, close the 34 tabs you swore you'd get to later. Here's why it works. Because when your brain isn't dodging distractions every 10 seconds, it actually gets stuff done. Like deep satisfying, I deserve a cookie after this kind of work. Here's an example. Imagine muting Slack during your creative block and watching your brain suddenly become a genius level problem solver. Confidence? Nah, it's just you, minus the digital circus of it all. Set the vibe, protect your peace, and get ready to enter focus mode like a productivity ninja. Tip 7, use a Kanban board to track your progress. Ah yes, the Kanban board, aka your project's mood ring. It tells you exactly how things are feeling, whether it be overwhelmed, almost there, or completely crushed it. You've probably seen it before. Columns like to do, in progress, and of course completed, with tasks sliding across like productivity emojis. It's basically a scoreboard for your sanity. Here's why it works, because nothing says you're doing great, sweetie, like dragging a task into the done column. Plus, you can spot bottlenecks faster than spotting an empty coffee pot on a Monday morning. Your team will love the clarity, and you'll love not having to say, wait, who was supposed to handle this anyway? For the 7th time this week. Bonus, it makes you feel like a wizard casting spells every time you move a sticky note or a card. To do? Begone file task. Tip 8, share and optimize your calendar. Let people know you're booked and busy. If your calendar is a mystery, your team's going to treat you like a human magic 8-ball, constantly shaking you for your availability. Are you free now? What about now? Now? Spare everyone, including yourself, the chaos. Share your calendar like the generous time wizard you are. Let coworkers see when you're working, in meetings, or just fiercely protecting your do not disturb I'm eating taco hour. Here's why it works. When your calendar is public, people stop guessing and start respecting your time. Fewer emails, fewer interruptions, and 0 surprise meetings during your deep focus flow. Here's an example. A remote team that shares calendars can actually schedule meetings that don't interrupt someone's yoga class or even nap in progress. Revolutionary, right? So go on ahead, sync that calendar, color code it like a kindergartner with a Crayola pack, and reclaim your peace. Tip 9. Take advantage of the Pomodoro technique. Ah, yes, the Pomodoro technique, and yes, we have a video on that. I'll link it above, because nothing says I'm crushing it like racing against a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. Here's the gist. Work for 25 minutes like a productivity ninja, then take a 5-minute break to stretch, hydrate, or stare into the void. Your call. After 4 rounds, treat yourself to a longer break. Maybe even go touch some grass if you want. Here's why it works. It's like tricking your brain into focus mode by promising a mini vacation every half hour. Great for avoiding burnout and even turning overwhelming tasks into bite-sized wins. Here's an example. A writer can use Pomodoro sprints to crank out blog posts in sections without getting sucked into the let me just rewrite the intro 18 times trap. Bonus, you'll feel strangely powerful setting a timer like you're about to launch a space shuttle, except it's just answering emails. Share this awesome episode with someone you know who needs it to help them plan for what's to come. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I hate for you to miss the next episode. Now let's get into our recap. So let's do a quick recap just in case you missed a tip on the list. 1. Batch tasks with ease. 2. Get things done, or at least feel like you are. 3. Time blocking. Structure your day like a pro. 4. Automate with AI. Let the robots do the boring stuff. 5. Minimize context switching. Protect your focus. 6. Create a distraction-free workspace. 7. Use a Kanban board to track your progress. 8. Share and optimize your calendar. 9. Take advantage of the Pomodoro technique. The leader has to be practical and a realist, yet must talk the language of the visionary and the idealist. Eric Hoffer. I just want to take a moment to thank our patrons and channel members. This episode would not be possible without your support. Thank you. And if you would like to support the show, visit patreon.com/perspectiveplans today. Thank you so much for stopping by and pressing play. I truly appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments or your podcast review what tip you'll be using. Keep planning for what's to come, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.